Hey ladies and gents, welcome back. This is going to be part 3 to What If Naruto Had a Special Dojutsu. Now, for the next part of this What If, let's get this episode to 200 likes. I'm kind of just increasing it by 25 every time. And I actually do have a question for you guys. Do you guys want me to make like a separate channel for like a gaming channel or something like that? Like I was thinking about making a separate channel for playing games and stuff like that. Would you guys actually like to see that? I'll put a poll up right here. Yes or no. It's pretty simple. So yeah. We'll just jump right back into the what if. So where I left off, Sasuke left with Orochimaru, and some people were commenting on my last video that Orochimaru can't use the Edo Tensei without arms, but he never got his arms sealed because Naruto kind of cut one of his arms off, so Hiruzen didn't really see a point in, sealing his arms. Because he doesn't think that Orochimaru could use, like, one-armed hand seals and stuff like that, so he decided not to even seal his arms. So, now that that's cleared up, because I kind of came up with it, no, I'm kidding. So, they begin the Sasuke recovery mission with Shikamaru and the rest of his team, including Naruto, because he obviously figures it out because he's Naruto and he has the Dojutsu, which allows him to pretty much do whatever the heck he wants. So he figures that out really easily. So they all head off. And this is where they encounter the Sound 4 for the first time. So they see Tayuya, Kidomaru, I think his name is, Jirobo, and Sakon and Yukon. So those fights go exactly the same up until where Naruto gets in contact with Kimimaru, the bone boy. So he starts fighting Kimimaru, and Lee and Gaara don't really have to show up because Naruto just kind of kills Kimimaru easily. And he steals the bow and Kekkei Genkai while he's at it, just because he wants it. So when he's trying to catch up with Sasuke, it's a lot easier for him to do it, because not only is he faster, but he also didn't really have that much of a delay, because he didn't have to really fight that long with Kimimaru. He kind of just killed him and left. So he ends up finding Sasuke, and he meets him at the Final Valley still. So when he does meet him at the Final Valley, they begin talking, and Sasuke thinks he has a good enough boost in power where he could actually fight Naruto now, because his base form is much stronger when he got put into that near-death state. So he ends up doing that, and for some odd reason, he thinks he just maybe could be strong enough to fight. And that's where he's gravely mistaken. So he begins the fight, and he's losing very badly. This is where Orochimaru actually shows up, because Orochimaru knew that if Naruto did catch up to Sasuke, he stood no chance and he'd get brought back to the village. So Orochimaru knew this was going to happen, so he showed up, and he grabs Sasuke, and they pretty much vanish. And Naruto's, what the heck just happened, is what Naruto's thinking, and it's like, he's just so pissed at himself that he just let them disappear. You can't see what happened. And this is where Kakashi shows up. And Naruto's just fine, so they end up walking back to the village and talk, because Naruto didn't get weakened, so he's not on the back of Kakashi on the way back. So that's the end of the Sasuke recovery mission, because Orochimaru showed up because he knew that was going to happen. So now it's the break for Shippuden, and instead of the training how it goes normally, I think Kakashi would actually just stay in the village, because he's already so powerful because he's really strong. So he'd stay in the village. He'd do normal missions and stuff like that, just like every other Jonin would, or not Jonin would, but he's Chunin, because he got promoted to Chunin after the Chunin exams, just because of how, he is insanely smart, insanely strong, insanely everything. So he got promoted to a Chunin, and by the end of the 3 years, he'd probably be a Jonin. So he did do, the normal missions that all Jonin do, but I'm not going to cover any of them because I don't know what he would be doing, because I don't know any missions that they were sent on during that time. So when the Shippuden break is over, Naruto is obviously a ton stronger than he was at the beginning of Shippuden. So they find out that Gaara has actually been pretty much, he, or not, oh my gosh, I literally can't talk. They found out that Gaara has been captured and they want to go help him. Not really out of like, oh, Gaara's my friend and Gaara's this, but like, Naruto's really smart and he knows that what the Akatsuki are, and that if they gather all of the tailed beast, it's going to be a little bit of a difficult situation for them. So they end up going to find Gaara. And this is where they end up seeing the Sand Village after, a good while of walking. And when they do go in, they see that Tamari is there and she's standing over this bed. They walk over to the bed to see what was happening, and they see that there's a man there and he's like poisoned and almost dead. And they ask who it is, not really recognizing him just because of how long it's been, and they get told it's Kankuro, Gaara's brother and Tamari's brother. So Sakura is actually there because she ended up going with instead of Hinata. So when that happens, Kankuro's obviously healed. I'm having Sakura go with just because they are the Tsunade. I can't think of words right now. Would think of bringing a medical ninja with just in case, because they definitely probably would need it. And Sakura, I'm just gonna say, still ended up training with Tsunade. So that fight, or not fight, but they end up healing Kankuro, and now they're going to where Gaara is. So after they end up finding the space where Gaara is like being held because of actually no, because I'm trying to think. So I can't talk. I literally can't talk today. Like, what the fuck? So they find where Gaara is being held, and they get there quicker than they do in the original, just because of how much stronger Naruto is when they end up finding like Kakashi, or not Kakashi, Itachi, and they have to fight his 33% clone. So when they end up getting to the cave that Gaara is being killed in, he hasn't completely, they haven't completely extracted the One Tails yet. So they end up stopping because they have to fight, and Gaara is dropped to the ground unconscious. So they end up fighting, and it is Deidara and Sasori. So it goes the same, except Kakashi stays back and fights Sasori with Sakura and old lady Chiyo, which is what her name was. I can't remember that for a second. And Naruto goes after Deidara alone because Kakashi knows that he would have the best chance of killing one on their own. So with the fight with Kakashi, Sakura, and Chiyo fighting Sasori, that fight is actually a lot smoother than it was in the original, just because, they have an extra fighting member with them. So that fight goes, it goes well. I'm not going to, describe any of it because there's really would be no point to doing that. And I'm going to describe the Naruto and Deidara fight. So that fight pretty much starts with Deidara realizing he can't do anything against Naruto and trying to create his bird so he can fly away and run away. But Naruto can easily catch up to him, and Naruto's just looking at this dude, and this is where Naruto starts actually flying. Now, Naruto's flying because over the 3-year gap, he ended up going to the Stone Village and saw the Tsuchikage, I think is what it is, the guy who can fly. You know that one? The one who stopped the giant boulder from coming down onto the, you know who I'm talking about. So Naruto copied his ability and now he can fly. So he starts flying up at Deidara, and realizing he's not actually catching up to Deidara, he decreases his weight and he starts flying very insanely fast towards Deidara. He's definitely gaining ground on him now, and he cuts off both of the arms of Deidara's little bird thingy as Deidara falls to the ground. Deidara, realizing that he has to actually fight him now, stands up and gets into a fighting position. They start throwing hands briefly, just using taijutsu just to test each other, and Naruto has a clear edge in the battle. this is where Deidara just starts throwing all of his bombs everywhere. Not really doing anything to Naruto, and Naruto doesn't really see a point in copying his bombs because they wouldn't really fit into his fighting style at all. So Naruto just continues, and he just kind of dodging, evading, and this is where Deidara, actually realizing this is pretty much the end for him, ends up using his C0, his suicide bomb. And Naruto's just, oh, well, that's nice, and he kind of just leaves. He teleports himself out into the Kamui dimension with the Kamui that Kakashi has. Because again, his dojutsu is to copy. And he has Kamui. Madara used the Kamui with Kakashi's eye to teleport himself, so why wouldn't Naruto be able to? Because Naruto's been training with it and he doesn't have the same chakra drain and, like, issues that Kakashi had with the eyes. So that's kind of just the end of the Gaara rescue mission, with Deidara being dead and Sasori being dead. But Chio is not dead, and Gaara is alive still, and still actually has the One Tails. So now, they end up heading back to the village, and they get a little tip. And this is where the Tenkaichi Bridge mission begins. So that's where I'm just going to leave this part off. I'll see you guys in the next part of What If Naruto Had a Special Dojutsu. See you later.